Welcome to another episode of SSDTV Network. I'm your host, Drizzle. We got a couple topics I'm going to talk about today. Let's start out, man, with the news that shook the world the other day, man. Shannon Sharpe is officially leaving Undisputed. The exact date has not been announced, but it is official. He has reached a buyout with Fox Sports, or FS1. He's leaving Undisputed with Skip. To say that it wasn't expected, to say that people were blindsided by it, I will say there was a lot of people who were blindsided by it. But the people, if you pay attention, if you watch the show, it's like, man, these two, they've been arguing a little bit more lately. And you can tell the difference between a healthy debate and an argument. Like, they've always had heated debates. They've always had moments where one might get a little bit out of character, get a little bit more animated, and you can tell he might be more passionate about the topic versus the other. But recently, over the past year, but especially as of about the last 6 to 7 months, the arguments, they seem to be a little bit more personal. Like, there was a little bit more behind it. There was a little bit more sauce on it, as to say. And most noticeably, the one that people noticed the most was when Shannon told Skip he wasn't Tom Brady. They were having a debate. They were talking about football. I can't remember exactly the gist of it, but they were going back and forth. And Skip was basically like, you're not valid because you're not Tom Brady. You can't talk about this. And Shannon's like, dog, I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a 3-time champion. What do you mean I'm not certified to talk about this? And it just went from there. Shannon takes off his glasses. Skip tells Shannon to put his glasses back on, like it's memes and it's think pieces going around. That happens in December, if I'm not mistaken. And then, that happens in December. And then in January, or the end of December, we have the Damar Hamlin situation. You know, everybody knows a cardiac arrest. That goes down. But Skip tweets. In his defense, I will say, people were thinking this. Skip tweets, how can the league not finish this game? Blase, blase. And in retrospect, it was a pivotal game. It was an important game. It just happened to be two teams that were jockeying for playoff position, division. They were jockeying for their divisional titles, respectfully. It was a late season important game. You feel me? It was an important game by design. The league scheduled that game later in the season for it. Anyway, boom, it happens. Second quarter. I believe it's the first quarter. It happens. Skip tweets, how can the league not finish this game? Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's on his ass. Rightfully so. Shannon does not come to work the next day, that Tuesday. Skip does a public, somewhat apology, per se, about the tweet. But he does not take the tweet down. This is the important part. He does this whole thing. Shannon comes back on Wednesday, right? Tries to go into his opening monologue. Skip keeps interrupting him. Shannon's like, you didn't even take the tweet down. Skip says, I'm not going to take the tweet down. And nobody here had a problem with it because they didn't tell me to take the tweet down. Shannon said, well, they did have a problem with it because they wanted you to address it. You feel me? And the issue on that situation was, it wasn't the fact necessarily what Skip tweeted. It was the fact that Skip doubled down and he refused to take the tweet down. All he had to do was take the tweet down. And ever since then, the show has kind of been, it's been rocky. It's been murky. I mean, of course, they've had good viral moments or whatever per usual, but it's been rocky per se. And, shout out to my man, MVP on Smash. He actually, on January, matter of fact, let me go look. I remember when he posted this on Instagram, I was like, man, maybe, all good things come to an end, but maybe, I don't know, maybe when his contract's up, he won't renew. Maybe they'll move on. Maybe Skip will retire. I don't know what's going to happen, but he posted this on Instagram on January 3rd. He talked about Shannon Sharpe in 2022 having an alleged disagreement with Skip on the financial end about his upcoming contract renewal. This led to the falling out of the two behind the scenes, to the point where Shannon has been looking to get off the show and put 100% focus towards his interview series that has had success. Skip's despairing comments last night, this is January 3rd, last night have been the final straw, as the NFL made threats to Fox about pulling programming and sponsorship from the network. Skip's apology did not seem sincere earlier on TV, and only did it after backlash. Shannon has always given praise to Skip after his firing at CBS for an alleged elevator incident. Essentially, Undisputed saved his professional career, introduced him to a new generation of sports fans, and opened large doors for him with LeBron and Clutch Sports. That is very, very key going forward, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest question of this is, will Shannon stay after this situation, or use it as an advantage to get out of the deal? I don't expect him to immediately quit Undisputed, but this is likely the last year you'll see the show with its current cast. This was on January 3rd. It is currently June 1st. So about 6 months ago, he reported on this, and it's coming to fruition. Now, one of the things he said about with Shannon's relationship with LeBron and Clutch Sports, like I said, I pay attention to things. I don't like to say a lot of things because when I say things, people look at me and they call me a hater. So I refuse to say some things sometimes publicly. But I noticed that after those two spats with Skip Bayless, Shannon was very, 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 very publicly, I don't mean just on the show, but he was publicly courtside and very, very chummy with LeBron. It was all love. It was like, damn, something happened. Now, I don't want to be the guy to say that, because, of course, if I say that, I'm a hater, because everybody knows how I feel about LeBron. Nonetheless, Shannon seems to be moving on from FS1, and he got his contract, got his buyout agreement, and he got his IP. I think that if this stuff was really going on, and it looks like has been going on for quite some time, I think him getting his IP off of Fox was part of the holdup. Like, Fox was probably like, look, bro, we'll let you leave, but we're keeping Club Shay Shay. And Shannon was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I think that's the difference between the two. I don't want to say difference between the two, but I think that's the difference between Shannon realizing what he started at with Undisputed. Because don't get me wrong, he was very, very grateful for getting an opportunity to Undisputed. It's very, very similar to Stephen A. Stephen A had a similar situation where he was pretty much, I don't want to say blackballed by ESPN, but ESPN wasn't fucking with Stephen A no more. Skip went to ESPN and said, hey, if I'm going to do this debate show shit, I need him. I need Stephen A. They brought Stephen A back, and First Take took off from there. Years down the line, it was 8-9 years they were together for First Take. Skip ends up leaving, going to do Fox, do his own thing. Fox has built their sporting debate and talk show programming around Undisputed. They have built it on the backs of Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. So that raises the next question. When Shannon leaves, not only who replaces him, but can they fill that void? Can Undisputed maintain the type of ratings, and can they maintain the type of viewership that they were getting? Because Shannon was literally carrying the show for the majority of the time. Don't get me wrong, Skip did his thing. Skip is Skip, right? Skip is Skip. But I think Skip kind of designed, and he wanted Shannon to showcase his personality, his talents, and go out there and be forthcoming and being the guy. Like, he wanted to, because I honestly think this is Skip's last ride. I think him going to Fox, getting that last bag he got, he might re-up one more time, but this is it for him. I think he's gonna end up ultimately retiring. Like, regardless of how people feel about Skip Bayless, he is the godfather for debate sports talk shows. Regardless how you feel about Skip, you can hate him. I know Charles Barkley talks bad about him. Y'all can hate this man to the sun up, sun down. you have to give him credit for being a pioneer of this format of TV. Whether if you like this format of TV or not, it has spawned so many things. The format has even spawned going over into music with like people like Joe Budden going to Complex. Was it Complex with Everyday Struggle, and even Complex had tried to build debate shows around music, sports with Gilbert, and all type of shit. So it's like he is literally the grandfather of this type of content, this type of TV. Everything comes to an end. I don't think Fox will be able to replace Shannon. I don't think that those other sports shows that they have, outside of Colin Cowherd, but he came to Fox with his own fan base. Came from ESPN with his own fan base. That's different. That can survive on his own. Colin Cowherd could go take the goddamn Pat McAfee show. I just want to take that route, bro. I'm gonna just go YouTube and then Parton whatever. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't necessarily need Fox to do what he does because he has a fan base. He came there with a fan base. He's fine. So Colin Cowherd is fine. But all them other shows, First Thing First, Speak, all the other bullshit that they got on there that nobody really cares about, that comes and goes and always in, like, because it's so wishy-washy there. The Undisputed was literally the only stable thing that they had, and you knew that every day we're getting Skip and Shannon. Them other shows, you might get this person, that person, this person, that person's gone. Then it was so many revolving doors and moving chairs over there that it was no consistency with them other shows. That's why them other shows never really prospered like Fox would want them to, except for Undisputed. 7 years. Now, sure, you could say they've been 7 years at number 2. They've been a strong number 2. They never overtook First Take. But they were entertaining enough. They were good enough to where you paid attention. They were good enough to where you knew they existed. Everybody knew Undisputed was around. They knew it was a thing. I guarantee you that people cannot name any of these other Fox Sports shows except for Undisputed. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Fox decides to move forward. I think Shannon is gone after the finals, maybe a little bit longer, but he doesn't make it to football season. There's he's not going to be around. By the time August is here, he's gone. So like I said, I think he'll do up until the finals. He'll probably do the end of June, maybe even halfway through July, but he will be gone very, very, very soon. I think it's dope that he realized that he needed to keep his IP. He needed to keep Club Shay Shay. I think it's very dope that he made sure that he left with that. He probably took less money to take his IP. Like, they were probably going to buy out his contract at X amount. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of this. They were probably going to buy him out at a certain number and try to keep his IP. He said, no, I will take less money. I want my intellectual property. This is mine. Like, and now he can take Club Shay Shay. He can shop it. He can stay strictly YouTube. Like, he doesn't have to go take it anywhere and be on TV. He can still go somewhere and be on TV. He'll be sought after for sure. Like, ESPN, get bro on the phone, get him in there just for football season. I know you got your situation with Mike Irvin. I think Mike Irvin is cleared of everything that's going on. I don't know what they're gonna do with that situation. ESPN, if y'all want to put the morning sports talk show lane in a chokehold during the NFL season, Stephen A., Michael Irvin, Shannon Sharpe. That three-headed monster all NFL season. You have nothing to worry about. Thank me later. You'll have absolutely nothing to worry about. Shannon can keep on doing his Club Shay Shay thing. He's well respected in there. Club Shay Shay is booming. I mean, it's booming. I'm pretty sure that when Shannon started this, he didn't think that he would end up getting. He got Steve Harvey, Mark Jackson. He's had people like T.I. come on there. Like he's had some very, very highly touted guests. And this is what I like about Shannon. Shannon took Undisputed. Undisputed was a bone thrown through to him, right? He could have said, man, thank you for this opportunity, Skip. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm just happy to be here, right? And maybe that's why Skip felt some type of way when like some of these situations, like, bro, I can get some of this shit off because I gave him this opportunity, and where else is he gonna go? But that's because Skip got an old man mentality. Skip got an old mindset. Skip doesn't understand that this is 2023, bro. People don't necessarily need networks to get their shows off. There are very, very successful YouTube shows that are just strictly YouTube, and they don't go to a network. Now, they might partner with a network down the line, but they don't go to a network. They don't need a network. And Shannon has built a foundation. He understands, like, hey, I use Undisputed. I use Undisputed to build Club Shay Shay. I use Club Shay Shay and Undisputed to build my cognac. That Le Portier. You know what I'm saying? Like he used that. And that's what I like about Shannon, is that he didn't just sit back. He took Undisputed, and Undisputed was just what it was. He said, no, I got Undisputed, but let me dip my hand into these other things, because let me see what else I want to do, because I don't want to do this forever. Let me see what else I can get into. Let me see if I can use this as a stepping stone and leverage to get me over here, to get me over there, because eventually this is going to come to an end. And when it was time to bail out, he said, you know what? I got options. I got options. I don't have to stay here. I don't need to stay here. I don't want to stay here. I mean, what's more dangerous than a person who has options? You feel what I'm saying? Like, do you feel what I'm like? Who is more dangerous than somebody who has options? We can put this in football terms. RPO. We have options. We can hand it to the running back. The quarterback can keep it. I can hit the guy on this slant. I can hit somebody over the top. Like, I have an option. Shannon Sharpe has options. I don't have to stay here, Fox. Skip, I don't have to put up with you, bruh. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the love. But it's time for me to get up out of here. You feel me? So, shout out to Uncle Shannon, man. I wish him nothing but the best. I will say that it is sad to see. I mean, it's sad to see a good show like that go down like this, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was bound to happen. And like I said, hopefully, man, Skip, I don't know what y'all gonna do over there, Fox. Who knows, man? This could be the end. But yeah, man, shout out to Shannon, and we'll see what happens next.